So for today, please, the chat is I've turned off what do we call it? Yeah, I've turned off mic for everyone. Turn it off mic for everyone. So people talking. At some instances I'll be turning it on. Confirm you can see my screen clearly. Okay. So for today, we are going to use a sample Uber Uber ride. Who is raising hand? Just now, by mistake. If you have any issues, please type on the chat box. Let's run through this person. Next one are 30 minutes. Okay. So the business context, I don't know if I could use this. Like I told us yesterday and other times, that data analysis is not just about um, charts and formulas and coding and the rest. It's more about business thinking and how do what I mean by business thinking is you have to be able to convert your technical experience. You can't see the screen, Mary. I think it's from your side. Yeah, I just sent a telegram. Just sent the file on Telegram now and download it. Give like 5 minutes. Give like 5 minutes and download it on your laptop. Follow along. If not, I can. You drop the recording. You drop the recording. Okay, so for for the business context, it has Uber operates a ride hailing service across major cities because it is handling thousands of ride requests every month. So our context is the management wants to understand how customers use the platform, when demand is highest, where rides are concentrated, and what drives revenue. So you have to build a dashboard for management that summarizes ride requests for 2025. So we have our data set for 2025 rides, next sheet, and you it is designed to help the business stakeholders, which are the managers and directors and everybody, make data-driven decisions around driver allocation, pricing strategy, customer experience, and revenue optimization. So there are some business questions here given, for example, the demand overview, like how many rides were made in the selected period, which is like the 2025 period. How many rides did we have? It's kind of questions. Those are the kind of things that CEOs can just, okay, at a glance at 2025 data. You can't hear? Can anybody hear? Can you guys hear me, please? Somebody said I can't hear. Oh, okay, I think it's your network because I would have even joined from. So, how many rides were made? How many customers are active on the platform? Yeah. How many drivers are available to serve demand? How many rides were successfully completed? What percentage of rides were cancelled or had no driver? Are customers generally satisfied with the service? What time of the day? All these are business questions that you need that the business is asking you to try to take action and improve the business. And for that, there are metrics that you use as an analyst for each business question. Yes, I'm recording. For example, total rights. That answers how many rights were selected, were requested. Total active customers. So you need to be able to convert business questions for you as a data analyst. Your first job is to be able to convert the business question into metrics or into the technical part. So you can use the technical tools to answer them and relate the story back to them in a form of business. That's what you have to do as a data analyst. So if they ask you a business question, your job is to say, okay, how do I get this? And first, then secondly, how do I build this dashboard structure? Then lastly, what insights this particular KPI or visual answering? For example, total ride request now, you can see it shows overall platform demand usage level. Shows okay, are people using the platform? That's what the total ride request does. For the total active customers, it measures the customers' adoption and engagement. Customers using our platform, or are they going to other competing platforms? Helps us these total active drivers. It helps us assess whether driver supply matches demand. Do we have drivers that actually that are helping, that are picking rides, or are we short of drivers? Do we recruit more drivers? What should we do to bring in more drivers? All these questions can be answered by this analysis. And for this class, I would work on these ones. Then as your assignment, it will not be a copy and paste again. You would work on these other ones. I'll give you like a week or two for this, because by next weekend is our last class on Excel, which will be Power Query. So after that, this week and next week we'll round up everything. Excel. So supposed to be 3 weeks of Excel. At least if you can solve this, then by next week you do Power Query. Once you combine the three assignments on Excel, I've had a good knowledge of what to do when you see a data set. Okay, now we have gotten the business context and the business question. If you have a question, please just type it on chat box. Very fast. Actually stop me and go back and run it. I have like 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours. And so hope it's going to be okay. Let's go to the data set. Now, once you get a data set, first thing you have to know is an assumption as a data analyst that this data set is not clean. There are many errors, many things that can happen that can make your analysis wrong. So what you have to do is you have to be able to look at your data set, format it, clean it, to prepare it for better analysis. If not, you have issues. If not, you'll be reporting the wrong thing. So how do we do it? First of all, look at the data set. First thing you check is many times I advise that you duplicate assets so you can always go back in case there is any issue. That's the first thing I would advise anybody to do. Create a copy, just duplicate it and keep somewhere. You can hide it. You're fine. You just know that if you have any issues in future, you can go back and work start again from the dirty or raw data you receive. Okay, now this next thing you have to do, like I pointed out in the introduction videos that we did, you can check how many rows has your data set. Once you click on on the any column, and you come down here, see total number of, we have 10,000 rows of data here. Go down, it takes up 10,000, 10,001 because of the header. So we have 10,000 rows of data. Those 10,000 rows are for which year? So first of all, you can check each column. Does each column match the format? For example, request, you can check the request. It's general. You can leave it as general. It doesn't matter for that one. Then you go to your date. See the date now. So it's showing as general. You change it to a date format, short date format. Just leave it there. Then you click this arrow and see, gives you an overview here of how the data looks. Check if there are any wrong figures in it. So now we can confirm that okay, date is correct. Then you come to the time. For the time, you can convert it maybe to normal time. If you click on select it, the in general, you can change it to normal time or go to more number format, change it in a format that actually make you aware that in this format, okay. Now I'm sure I know AM and P. Another thing that we can do is that if you study your business question well, they ask you a question. Is there was a one that at what time of the day and highest, which is hourly ride. and decide to say, okay, let me add this. Okay, yeah, the date format I just said you can leave it as general, or you can just change the format, short date, and do anything. And okay, another thing I said was you can click on it and check. If you just click on this arrow down, you will see all the dates. You can see the data is 2025 data. See it from here, divided into months. So you can know that it's actually clean. No errors are shown there. Okay, so for the time, what I did, I just changed it to time format, UK time, AM and PM, and the very come back to that time later. For the pickup location, let's just do it. For the time now, we can decide to say, okay, let's add the hour of the click. Let's insert new row, click, insert, then a new row, call this row hour. Want to do a 24-hour. Let's try using hour, hour up in. It gives us 12 a.m. But what I want is hour of the day. So I can convert this from time now number and move this. So if you know in the 24-hour clock, increase the header font. Okay. Now I can click on this place. Click on this particular corner and double click on any of these lines. Maybe the first one, click on it. Just this words cell. It's actually see what. So what I did here was that I used the hour function, gave me 12 p.m. but needed to make it in time because 24-hour time, what you're looking at, we're looking at hour of the day from 0 to 23 as the 24-hour system. Now we have gotten this. This is 5:28 p.m. It falls at 17:00 hours. 0 hours. That's why we're having this. If I come to this corner, change this to this cross, and I double click, you'll will see now 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. is 23, 12 p.m. is 12, 5 p.m. is 17, 4 a.m. is 4. So that's if you have gotten at least the hour of the day, that can help us to analyze what hour of the day had higher rights quest. Now we've worked on this. We move to the next column. We are looking at that column because this is the step. If you don't clean your data properly, it will give you issues when you are doing your analysis. Now we see that the pickup locations are were entered anyhow, perhaps as a mistake from database. How did I change to hour? I changed to hour by using the hour function. You just join. Someone just join, it will not take me back. Hour function, this is it. Hour function, take reference this cell. If you anything it gives you, you change it to number, give you this number. Okay. For the pickup location, you can see now that it's showing differently. Yeah, thank you very much. It's showing differently. Some of them data are not really entered properly. So we learned how to use proper. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. I'm recording it. Recording is limited. Yeah, it's recording. Don't get it. So for this, we can use the proper function now. Just can just insert from here, set. Then we use equal to proper. Then select this. Enter. gives us a proper form of it, format, enter. But we cannot, if we use just proper, we still have spaces at the front. So we can actually, instead of just doing the proper, you can just add trim to it. You can bucket it in trim, and it trims those white spaces that are there outside. So come now, click here, see that it has trimmed, it has removed those white spaces at the edge now. So now our pickup location here and here, our pickup location is, don't want to have two pickup locations. And since this one is a reference, if we delete this one that is not clean, to affect delete this, to affect this because this is referencing it. So what we do is can copy this and paste it as value, then not referencing anything again. Now come, there are different ways to do this. There are different ways to do this, but I'm just showing you one of the ways as you study. Yeah, and the board be bolder. Okay, better like this. Okay, so we have our drop-off locations, the same thing, and just do the same thing we did there. Set also proper, proper. Like this, your drop location, and it here. Then actually fill it. Do that, copy it, it as well. That works fine now. We have gotten our our first 5 columns. Then the next thing we can check, the next one is right type. Right type column, go here, check here, see that okay, there are no bias or the data. Click okay. Why can't you follow up? What's the problem? Is it a network? So you go to the driver's ID, check, and see all of them are numbers. There's nothing there to the issue. Just leave it in. Go to the right status, the cancelled, completed, and no driver. No, nothing is right there that is making it ugly. Right? Then you come to the fair trip. In the fair trip, now if you click on it, you see there are a lot of fair that just entered. They entered wrongly. I think some of them wanted to enter with the with the pound symbol, but it now had issue. What you can do, you can actually check to see, maybe do a sort to sort large. Yeah, if you sort it, you see that ones that have those issues are on the top. So how do you remove this? How do you clean this? There are different ways you can clean it. Excellent. Yeah, you can use find and replace. So what you do, just so that people are getting. No, Nkechi, gave you an assignment. You studied from beginning, and all these things is what you have learned through those videos. So if you didn't follow up the videos and do the first assignment, you will seem lost. Trust me, this is the second stage from where we were before, and everything I'm doing is not magic. It's what you must have learned in the videos, except you didn't watch the videos at all, or you're just joining for the first time. So this for this now, you use find and replace. You watch find and replace in the videos, and click on here, do your control F for find. So it brings up find and replace. What are you looking for now? I can just copy this symbol, put it here, then do my control V. That's what I'm looking for. What am I replacing it with? Place it. That's it. So just replace all. Once you replace all, the 1,963 replacement, 1,000, just click OK. You've automatically removed those how do you call it? Those values. Yeah, you have to rewatch it again. You have to rewatch it because if you are to flow by constant cheating, cheating, teaching, cheating, not be easy. Close. So now for here now, these values now can make it currency, and it's good. So that's for the fare. For the distance in miles, you can leave, you can put it in number, put it in number. That cell is fine now. For the rating, check it. No, please can you sort the care? The care or the fare? You can sort the fare from lowest to the highest if you want. Sort it from until like so for the okay for the rating now, you can check and see if there are any outliers or funny figures. Not there. Click OK. Customer ID, same thing. So you can have different values. That's okay. For the customer feedback, you can check customer feedbacks. Car was bad. Nice ride. Then you click OK. I've not even done anything magical. Everything is just basic from what I'm doing. Then cancellation reason, the accidental request, change my mind, driver tax to cancel, all these reasons why users cancelled, why drivers cancelled. Then for the feedback, these are the feedback that was given. Passenger was only two feedbacks. Only two feedbacks. Passenger was passenger was rude. This is for driver's feedback. So at the end of the day, we are sure, at least for now, because we might still run into some things that perhaps are not clean at the end. But for now, we believe that we're able to clean it to a reasonable place. So now we go back to our business questions. We want to study our business questions and see what how do we present this now in a dashboard for our what about the request time? Request time, yeah. Request time was there. This is the request time. This is the request time. The cancellation, no, it appears it's because of the where we sorted it. If you go down, see the cancellation reason. I think we sorted it somehow. Then went did cancellation. Yeah, that's why. Because of the way we see them here just now. Yeah, how can we handle missing values? It depends on the missing value. Depends on the missing value. The best way to handle missing values is first of all investigate why it's missing. Because the data set is not yours. That's what you need to. Data set is not yours. Data set is not yours. So you don't add anything or move anything. So, but when you see values that actually miss, for example, if the ride was completed, if you look at, let me show you guys. We do cancelled request. Let's Okay? If you look at council requests, you see that council requests don't have fare. Council requests don't have any fare. They are all blank. Why? Because the request was cancelled. So there was no revenue from it. Can change. Let's change this place to revenue. Just know it's revenue or fare. So if you now check completed rights, let's filter completed rights, and you see that all of them have fare. So if you go down now and see that maybe there has some blanks, then you can actually say, okay, these rights were completed, but there was no fare. I put revenue and fare so that anyone you see it, you know why I'm putting it that way. You will get it. So now this is what we do. So first, once you have cleaned this, the next thing we do, which is from what we learned, is we can convert this table. How do we convert this to table? So that we can. Why do we convert so they can help us? You can't hear me? Can you hear me, please? If you can hear me, thumbs up. Yeah, if you can't hear me, I think it's your network. That's good. Okay, fine. So the next thing is we look at how to convert this to table. Yeah, someone said Control T. You do a Control T, or if you, for the sake of users, if you do a Control T, ask you to bring out the table dialog box, create table. We convert the table so that we can be able to slice and analyze our data easily, easily. So if you don't know that, you can just go to insert, click on table. Any of them works. So most times you don't need to highlight everything before you. If your data set is there, the Excel can actually spot your data set. Once you click on anywhere in the data set and press Control, it's going to show you the range of where your data set is. One thing Excel is smart. So once you do that, you click OK, get our data to table. And then go rename our table, anything we want it. Uh, Table click. So Control. Okay, I think that's converted to. So once it converts to table now, okay. When it converts to table now, we can start slicing, analyzing our data. So the next thing we can do now is check if anyone is check if any. I don't think I let all the field again. Most of the new guys. Hotspot. Okay. Control. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can check duplicates too. That's fine. That's good. Yeah, how did I know something was missing? I saw that my 2 and 3 rows were actually hidden. So I just knew that something was. So for you, you can check for you can check for duplicates too. For home, I don't think there was a duplicate in go to data, just maybe remove duplicate. When you're removing duplicates, you check for and make sure that all the rows are because you want to remove exactly what happens exactly across the whole rows and column. It's totally. And then you can now say select all of these and say okay. No duplicate was found. Your duplicates tell you okay, duplicates will not remove. Okay. So from here, the next thing we do is we insert our pivot table. That's where the analysis. Go to insert, click our pivot table, this table. So let me show you something. Show you something. For this class, I'm going to select this, add this to data model. I'll tell you guys why. If you select add to data model, your data now becomes kind of like a model or Power Query format. But the reason I'm doing it, I would show you. You can still work on it without it, but there's something I want to add. Requires me to add this to model. Then later. Okay. Okay. So now we can call this our analyze tab. So first thing we have to check, let's check if our table was even captured correct. Just do request ID. Then come down here. Once it opens the pivot side, to put it in your all your table headers will be there. Then the where you can slice the data, rows and columns and filters and the values here. Then you can change this. You just want to see if it's capturing everything to count. We know already from looking at the data, we had 10,000 rows. You can see now we have 10,000. All our rows are captured. All our all our headers are captured. Okay. Once that is done, what we could do next is start going through our business questions, answer each question. But before then, we can create our set our new tab and create a space for our dashboard. Let's call this overview. Call it dashboard. Anything you want to. Okay. For this now, what I like to do is go to view, move the grid. Then secondly, I think of colors that I want to use. First of all, people I'm working with. So I can decide to set loaded already. Logo, go to insert, pictures, set. For me, what I do. What do you need? Okay, the grid line, so that my dashboard can actually not the lines will not affect, not show it to be, just be nice to look at it. One other thing I would actually say, sometimes we always, this is where I'm heading at. I remove the grid line so that you can be able to see what I'm doing. Dashboard can. Am I a bit fast? Am I fast, guys? Am I too fast? Can I slow down? It's in like 1 hour. Next, am I fast? Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. No, the new people said I'm fast. People that need to catch up. Thank you very much for take it. Yes, the session is being recorded. Always record. Okay, so now I have my Uber logo here. Yeah, and I want to create my dashboard. I would like to use, I would like to use black blue fill, just like I did, so I can select here, then select here from here and make this. Any I want to just to, that's just that, just bringing the logo. Yeah, so then I can try to say, okay, use this set, set text box, text box, or the text box, color black. So, okay, it's fine, yeah. This fine, like view is okay for you guys. Oh, okay. So I actually downloaded this too, just the same way I just put it here, ethic purpose, not compulsory. Then inside my text box, I type Uber ride, Uber ride. Yeah. And if I click on yes, I can realign. Okay, that's fine. So do we get up to this point, please? Feedbacks on the desktop. Okay, that's okay. So from here now, we start looking at our data. First of all, what did the business say they want to do? Business says how many rights were made in selected period. Now, the period we are looking at 2025, and we need to know what was the total rights when your manager or a CEO or the director looks at your dashboard. The first thing they want to look is an overview. They just want to understand the data in general. If they have 30 seconds to look at your data, these are the kind of things they would want to see. Like how many rights did you get last year? Maybe they are advising, trying to see last year 2025 review. So what you do is, next question is how many rights made in the selected period? So all you're looking for is total request, total right request. And how do you present it? Most times when you're doing a dashboard, I would advise that your KPIs always be, please drop me a message, communicate later. So your KPIs can always be on top, kind of an overview to observe your data plans. So you're looking at total right request. You always put your KPI, it as KPI card. Then in the business question, it shows the overall platform demand, shows if users are using. I don't just want us to think of Excel, Excel, Excel. I want us to have business thinking. So you are converting the business thinking into technical, then back to business. So what do we do now? We go on our pivot table already. This is what we did. How did we do it? Go back again. We got our pivot table. What we do, just what do was take our right. You can, if you click it, it will go to values. It's always fault to sum. Not looking for the sum of request. The request ID is how we count the. If you go to the data, the request ID, each of the ride has its own ID, like kind of a register. This ride, that these are the IDs for each ride. I think it's kind of, I think it has a kind of a serial number. Each ride enters. It's a primary key. Yeah, if you don't want to go to that side, so people don't get kind of a primary key. It doesn't duplicate. If there's any duplicate request ID, it means there was error during the when it was entering the database. So go down here. You don't want to look for the sum. You're looking for the count. You're trying to count how many requests made. So we change here. We'll go to value field settings. So these business questions were not. It's assumed it was not generated by me. It's very rare that you generate business question yourself, except you're working as a strategy, and maybe you're the head of data. You're trying to develop ideas that will bring the business. You're in strategy, like head of analytics. Those ones will always generate what they want. As a data analyst, they always give you what the business wants you to bring out. It's you now that's going to look at how to convert that business questions to technical parts, solve it technically, and bring it back solution to them. So these business questions is what, yeah, it's what the management actually wants from you. So we change this now. Once we go here to count, and we click OK. Now we get 10,000. How do we bring this 10,000 to what? Go to our overview board and create create set a text box. Set the text box, draw it here. One thing I would always do so that this thing don't move, you can click on this text box, this particular first text box, then go to right click it, not the text, go to the right click it, go to format shape. The reason I do it because I don't want it dancing. Okay, shape formats. Size and property. It's not showing the what I want to do. It group. No, it's not grouping. We'll check that later. It's just thing I want to do it later. I'll drop the recording immediately after the class. So I can select this, go to home tab, let me use this. So what I'm doing here is total ride request. I copied this from here. Don't select this, we can okay, change, put it as. So now, in the video, I showed that you could still put it here. But to make it easier for you, just say add another text text right here. This text box. In this text box now, you would check the reference and check the reference where this is. You can see the reference, the cell reference now is on cell A4. On cell A4. Then you just go back to overview. Very easy. Just type equal to, equal to, type it in the formula box. Equal to. Our cell A4 is on our analyze sheet. You can click on the analyze sheet, go select it. But it always show this and it might only give you an error. It might work. It might give you an error. Sometimes it gives an error. It gives an error. So what I did in that video was that what I did was in that video was that I actually selected an empty place. But better still, to be easy for you, what you have here, just type it here. And I then put a this mark, exclamation mark here. Then it was in cell A4. Just type A4. Click enter. Bring that, it reference what is in that cell A4 now inside here. With this now, you can increase font or then centralize it, hold on it if you want to, change it to all I want. Then I can go back and okay, once I do that, for this cell box now, I don't want order. I don't want text out, I don't want the outline, shape outline, just there. So now I have my 1,000 rights now. And convert this standard. There's no standard rule for aesthetics, but I explained yesterday that you can always use colors that are good for you. That's sorry, colors from the colors.com. Just for color palettes can actually mix well. For this one, I have the color palette in my head already. So that's why so I can go to my analyze now. Here, also I don't want the numbers to just look anyhow. I can come change it to add this. Then shows. So now we've answered, in terms of fonts and no, the thing is, One thing as a data analyst too, other part of you should be your design, your aesthetic skills. You don't need to watch videos of how people are using, but your dashboard should not be messy in terms of too many colors or too many fonts. You can actually stick to one or two fonts are good. And it's the way you are designing it is how my screen is lagging. My screen lagging. Or is it okay? But any issue that you have from you, I know I actually fought. So now we've gotten our first next question. Any rights will get the selected period. These rights will all the rights get into. So just yes, building a rocket. Okay. So second thing is how many rights were requested selected period. Sorry, how many customers are actively using the platform? When we want to say how many customers are actually using the platform, if we go to our rights, the customers, you can see is other customers. If we have a customer's ID, look at it very well. Some customers, let's see, for example, let's choose one. This customer made different requests in different days, different places. There is how you can, if you want to count it just like that, you fit customer counts. So when they say how many active customers, you have to count unique. Like one customer, you have to count him once. How do you do that? Let me. How do you do that? If you go back to our analysis, actually add in display customer ID. So we are counting our customers now. So we'll select here, we'll change the value field setting to count, and we click OK. And now it's counting 10,000 customers. To why? Because there are 10,000 inputs from the request. So it's counting, even one customer is counting it number of times the customer made request, which is not supposed to be so. That was the reason I actually did that add to data model. If you add to data model, you can come down here, see value fit setting, scroll down, you see what they call distance count. You don't add it to data model, you're not going to see this, not going to see. If I select distinct count now and click OK, you can see that we have 1,201 customers. That's our active customers for last. So 1,201 customers made 10,000 rights. Please, if you understand, thumbs up. Let me know if you have effort. So we had 1,201 customers. What other KPI are we looking for? We can still build it here now. The next one is next question. How many drivers are available to serve demand? So that means you're looking for the total active drivers for 2025. And come down to the analysis, hit here too, drivers. And we are going to do the same thing because one driver can have different rights. So it will always default. Yeah, you can always be able to add data model, but there is the other part of it. If you're adding to data model, you will not be able to do calculated fields. Your 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 data now will be converted in the kind of model query, power query part of it. Not be working as so most times if you don't need this kind of distinct or anything, you don't need to convert it, add it to data model. But I added it because I know I will need distinct count and all those things. Just for this sake. So you can go to value field settings for the driver. Instead of sum of driver, go to distinct counts to click OK. And so we had 61 drivers and made 10,000 rights, 1,201. How many? What other business question do we need in a KPI? Go back and look. Completed rights. How many rights? When are we supposed to? Once you study your data, understand what you want, look at the business questions. Sometimes you might not even use it at the beginning. It's when you are going down, you down the oh, If it's in Power BI, it's different. It's different. That one is straightforward. But I'm looking at Excel now, how we can present it. So we need to do some tweaks. Make sure your data comes out, your dashboard comes out well and on presents the right. Hope you get. So, but here now we are looking at the fourth one. How many writes you successfully completed? Go back to our data set to see that we had write status. We have write status. It completed, it cancelled, there no driver. These are the status that are there. Please ask your question, George. Just type your question and drop. I'll answer when I see. So just you're looking for how many was completed now. Come here, click OK, and let's leave that one. Yeah, we should not, let's not add it here. Let's not add it here because if we add it here, it's going to give up. And that is well, that works different. Works different. So another KPI we are looking at is just building the KPI so that when we bring it, we bring all of them at in the first place when presented. Okay, let me answer the two. So you see, all these headers have their data in cells. In metric, yesterday I explained what we mean by metrics and dimensions. Your metrics are your numerical values. Your numerical values would always default move to values because your numerical values help you for aggregations, counting, um, sum, average, count, and so your numerical values will always go to this. Then for your rows and columns are for the categories, how you want to break your data into. That's when the rows and columns. That's what the rows and columns. Then your filters is want to filter out something. So in the first place, when presented the business question, we have to put up the kind of Excel generated in the last sheet. I don't know the kind of Excel you are talking about, but what you need to do is you just need to understand your data. Most times, very sincere with you, most times it doesn't need business will not ask you to create a dashboard. Most times, business will not ask you to create a dashboard. Business will just ask you present this in a way that they can just see. You can just create another sheet and write the whole summary, present it, and present it. So typically, once you're working in a particular place, if you are just a junior or an entry or maybe reporting to head, they will always tell you what what the business questions they want to answer. Always tell you the business questions they want to answer. Okay, what was our revenue last week? How many users? They will always tell you the business questions. The stakeholders tell you what they are looking for. So it's the ability to present it well. And when they give you like this, sometimes it can be very vague, can be very ambiguous. It's left for you to break it down to a way that you can actually understand it. Putting it in logic is always more difficult because they will just tell you you need this. I am going back and going forward. You watch it in the video because business the distinct I showed, I explained detail how I got it. I got it. I don't want to be going back and going forward. Our time is fast spent. Just to So, so let's go back to ice. So we can actually bring in these three, these three by go to overview on here to a controls a control for it. So the fact is that there are different ways to. You can't hear me. I'm talking. Hear me now. What I'm doing, I'm copying this thing. So you can just okay. Now we have our total right. The next thing we are looking at is what? That's what total customers, total customers, total driver, total active customer, total active, total active driver. Then let's work with this. It's easier than on the video where you were trying to. Okay, so we've gotten that. Active customers is hot sell. Go back to our four. Active drivers is in. Let's go change here. Four. Change here. Yeah. Does everyone understand this point? It's terms of business. Okay, that's fine. So the next thing we are going to, okay. So we have we have our total active drivers. Next thing we're looking for is what? KPI. There are KPI. We have another little right. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do an average rating. This for customer. Our customer generally satisfied with the service. What is our average rating? Go to this, add it to rating. So you change it to put it and we put on average. Click OK. The average rating is that is on. Session is recorded as our average. Okay, gotten this. at the other total revenue. Total revenue. Look at the business question. Add total revenue analysis. How much did the revenue is from the fare that users pay? That's the revenue. I actually put it at and total revenue. Total revenue. And what next? Revenue, total miles and convert into. I don't want to put this completely right in big right. Total revenue. And actually add some other things too. Something like total, just for my total miles covered. It should be in your part of your assignment. Menu. How much do we make all the customer knowledge? Need explain the difference between total active customer. Okay, so for example, you might have gotten a data set and you have your customers that have not booked any ride. Maybe they just registered on the platform. I didn't consider that case. They just is a request data. Is a request data. But you might be given maybe users data to those users can make a ride. So the active customers are users that made ride that requested a ride. That's if you get somebody explaining the revenue per ride and add here completed rides. Okay, so total miles covered. Let's tab. See our distance covered, distance in miles. Some this thousand, this 171. That is in F4. Total miles. Actually on Google Meet. Total miles covered. F4. I have 90. revenue, completed rights, and go to your analyze now. Revenue per right actually creates revenue per ride. Revenue per ride is how much do we make per ride? Like it's just kind of an average. Okay, this is the amount average we made for each. So what it means is that I was explaining average yesterday. If you are just joining, you will not take us back. I did the clearing and everything. So if revenue were like, okay, we made 10,000 pounds this year, but this 10,000 pounds came from 100 users. So it means on an average, users paid 100 pounds. So that's what it means revenue per ride. Like, okay, on an average, how much average the revenue gets per ride? Do we understand, please? Also, if you understand the explanation, that's fine. So, how do we do that? I can add all a field here. But we have a revenue or the sum of revenue is. So this has then we have it a divided by total rights. What I have here, what I have here is just sum of revenue divided by total number. You get click enter gives us say it can't be. What do you mean? Yeah, the total right is 10,000 made about 303,000 pounds. Sum of that's fine. You got it. Okay. That's what like actually assumed what I wanted people to assume. But that's fine. Thanks for pointing that out. No. It's that you see, guys. The thing is, one thing is that some 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 people are very analytical in their thoughts and they are watching. So somebody you are allowed to point out anything. You are very free to point out anything, and it's for learning purpose. Learning purpose, not because someone is showing that he knows better. When you are doing analysis, there are some gray areas you will meet. And there are some things you will come to your and that's perfect. What he said is actually the truth. What he said is actually truth. Because there are cancelled rights, there are incomplete rights. So definitely the revenue will be on completed rights. So Obinna, you're very much right. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Thank you for pointing that out. At least it shows that there are people who really understand business thinking. Do you get it, guys, please? That's good. So you guys should actually applaud him. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much. So the revenue to rights, I wanted to do the completed rights first, but I did it. But I wanted people to understand the overview of what we mean. If I go back to that place. So that's why I wanted to explain the idea of the revenue per ride. Okay, so if you come for revenue per ride, do the sum of revenue divided by rights. And so that's what it means when I showed this that you do sum of the revenue, which is this how much we got, divided by the total number of rights. But in this case, just as he pointed out, there are rights that were not completed, which is what I'm going to next. The rights that were not completed, uh, how do we get it? We come down here. Let's copy this. I don't want to add it. Copy this, paste it here, move. If you guys understand the idea of the revenue now. completed, come here, then you do completed right right status. Right status will definitely default to go into row or column. Once it does so, you now add the quest quest ID. You change it to count. So we can see that we had 6,300 and 738 completed. 6,738 completed. This now can take it to our overview. What column is it? Is in E9. Can go to our overview, see completed right, change here. Then we'll come back to talk on the revenue per right now, how understood what it means. Now we drag it down to what we actually need. Now for our revenue per right, we are going to do it not this sum over the amount of right bets, completed rights, because the revenue was made from rights that were. Hope you get. At least somebody pointed it out, but even at the left at it. That's good. So from here now, we can do equal to sum of revenue divided by the right. Get this, change it to currency. So now this is what is our actual revenue from the rights that revenue per right that was completed. Hope everybody has understood. At least the um, openers really made us clarify, make people understand it better. Okay. So this is in C9. This is in C9. Revenue per right. Okay. And that we've gotten here, we can actually format. Yeah, in this case, when we're looking at our data, I think I pointed it out that look at our right status. In this case, that's not how the data was captured. In this case, if you look at the right status, therefore cancel ride and no driver, no revenue. That's what we saw. That's how the data was presented to us. That's how the data was presented. So most times, maybe the business might happen that for cancel rights, they still charge upfront. Maybe especially if it's cancelled by the user. In this case, it was not explained to us that way. So we go back to our overview, then select all these, select this one. Once you select this, want to format all of them to be like, select this, go to your format painter, double click it, then just use it, select all this, put all of them, arrange all of them. Just I didn't hold the control key. What I did was that I just double tapped. I clicked on one of them, the one I want to use, and double clicked my format painter. Once you double click it, you see the brush following it will still be there. Anyone you click, because I double clicked it, in hold, I just double click all of them, use it to touch any of them. Anyone I use it to touch, just double click that painter. Then when I finish, I escaped. So now we've gotten most of our standard KPIs, most of our standard KPIs. So what we can do now is can decide to say, okay, let's insert icon. Yeah, please say something. Let icons. When you say revenue per ride, does it mean revenue Uber gets from? If so, let cost. It's actually the talk is like kind of average revenue per ride. Call it that, if that will make okay. So I can just leave this one. Then you guys think. So this we've gotten now. So the next thing is we can actually bring in our we are looking for completion, completed rights. Next thing is business. We have seen how many cost, many drivers, how many rights, what percentage of rights we had no driver. That's percentage status. Okay, let's do what percentage of rights cancelled or had no driver. For us to do that, we can go back, we can use this one that we don't want to touch it with. So we can just see it. We're looking for it in percentage now. Very easy. Guys, just please give me a minute. Let me. Okay, guys, sorry, you're back. So for this now, we are looking for the percentage of each of them. You can just come here, go to value field settings, value field settings, value field settings, then value field settings. Then we will show value as and make it percentage of granted. Okay, to now show us percentage of each. So we can see that 67% of the rights were completed. So that's what the question that was here. What percentage of right requests were cancelled or had no drive? Have now have percentage, right status percentage, completed, cancelled. And show this in a pie chart. Show this in a pie chart. Let's click on it, right off, take this three. Okay. D8. Edit. Let me just put outside. Ah, out of this. Okay. Like this. Just like it. Okay. So now we can actually see that we have 67% completed. No driver, 10%, cancel 22%. That has answered this our question. That has answered this our business question that asked you what percentage, just asked you what percentage of cancelled you can actually present. Are customers general satisfied? We've answered this one based on. So you use this question now to answer from who is getting the average at 3. Your company might say, okay, the background color can't be white. You want it to any your please, and it's what I'm showing you want to come. So so this business question, where was I? Average rating. The question you're answering is, are customers generally satisfied? The company might say for our customers to be satisfied, it means our rating needs to be at least 4 average. That makes us now. So now that they say, okay, what was our rating for last year? Average was 3. Then now the team needs to start doing something to make sure. Why would we now check why did our rating dropped? Where did we get low rating from? All those ones are things that you investigate to answer reasons and to give more insights. The overview, this exploratory part will just give them an overview. Okay, this is what is happening. When you're answering deeper questions, that's when you do extra slicing and investigating. Okay, why did this average rating Why did it drop? Why were users rating our app low? What happened? What kind of users rated it low? From which location were they rating it low? All those ones are business questions that you can actually answer when you are done creating the dashboard, which is the core data analysis, like I always say. So now we have answered this question. The next question we can look at, answer this. We have not answered it as an insight, because definitely what happens is after your dashboard, you can actually write an executive PowerPoint presentation to explain on everything. At what time of the day is demand? At what time of the day is demand the highest? That's why when we started, we created this our for me, for this class, I did this hour thing you to for us to get the time of the day. But for your own, in your assignment, you change this to morning, afternoon, or night. You create a column and put it. You use an if statement. Go and research and do any I want to do. That will be towards when I'm done with the first set of projects. I would show guys PowerPoint how to how this is. So, but for now, let's stick now. So when you're going to add another column, you write you write an if statement to select if it's from this time to this time, it's morning. I'll drop the conditions for morning, evening, and night. So you know what time of the day. But for the sake of this class, using only hour. So now we can come to our overview. Let's say I just do something. Come here. Let's like the merge, merge, and just showing you how to do some things. You actually devise your own means how to arrange. And I can put text here. This peak hour guide. Peak hour for right activity. Then how do I want to present that? Go to my analyze. Go to my analyze. I can copy, paste here. Then I do my what am I looking for? Looking for the peak hour for us. We're looking for our hour, peak hour of when users made movement, right? Doing some take this sum of hours. Drop my is that I don't want trying to see everything. If I'm working normally, and a lot of shortcuts. For the sake of beginners, I say I was too fast. Nice, nice meeting. Okay, okay. So what I did here, I copied here. Then I'm looking for first not looking for the idea. Can you guys see this? So at zero hours, which is 12 p.m. sharp, I explained this hour when I was creating the hour, that 4 hour system. So this all this shows hour of the day, first hour up to 11 p.m., which is so I can actually use this create what chart. What I would like to use is a trend line chart. Let's use a trend line to really see how the trend goes. So what this chart now shows is at every time of the day, from midnight, which is 12 p.m., till 11 p.m., it's 12 a.m., sorry, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., up till 11 p.m. How many how many rights we have, where was the peak? We are just trying to show the trend right off. Try to change. Somebody mentioned at the beginning that James is only those that have an idea. So I want to totally beginner, not be doing all gimmicks as I'm taking. How do you determine what charts to use? So you have to understand what different charts are used for. I think did that particular thing in one of my contents kind of charts. You can take down what kind of charts for the high charts, maybe for comparison, bar charts, and this kind of chart. Maybe it's a trend line, they're trying to trend line charts. For comparison, you can use bar charts or column charts for so there are different ways for percentages that are less than five. It's cleaner to use it. So all those things, I think I put it in one of my contents. People have talked. For this one, the line color is I can reduce the width of the 1.5. Then I can markers are the circles. Click on feel like actually I don't want the body. So I can copy this now. want to put it. Kind of it. You understand what I did here? Is if you understand. Okay. Okay. So I just did that to explain hourly time. So from here, somebody can actually look at it, see, see that at 5 a.m. had so much right. Let's imagine this is Lagos, or this is okay. Well, let's imagine okay, this is London 5 a.m. where people are waking up when they pick right just to catch up. People that are living outside London, inside London, in places that wake up 5 a.m. to pick right. To let's imagine this can be an example. Rearrange time frame. Yeah, we can actually group that. We can actually group it. Actually group it. Actually group it. Need to go back to need to do grouping here. Not group it. Actually write it on your not group it. Your numbers. But you can go to your data. Write your zoom in. Have I not zoomed in enough? Enough enough. So I won't. If I do everything for you, I'll be teaching you some kind of things. You try it out yourself too. Because when you submit it, I'm going to look at it and see how you can. Yeah, you can use morning, evening, afternoon hours. That is in your assignment. Assignment you doesn't mean you have to show me what time. If it's morning, me I'm showing you in hours. Own assignment is you show me morning, afternoon, evening. Do your use your if statement and on your data set. Then you come and analyze. Yeah. So the next thing we are going to do, we can actually add another one. Actually add what we have done, business question. So how does ride demand change across months? Monthly ride request. What we're going to look for each month. So over. Go to our analyze tab. Go to analyze tab. So once you bring in your date, Excel understands that that's a date column now. Put it into months. Put it in. Let's not put it in column. So let me put it in. Don't want the date. Don't want the date part of it. So if it was, if there were like two more years, show you month, year, even quarter. Now it's just showing us January till. Please, do you understand? Do you understand this part? Yeah. So we can actually use this now. Data, but same way, because you can for months to use a trend line. It's better to use it. This we can just copy paste it and try to see what and what format, if we use our format, what and what will not everything that click on this. So we have to still do for this. We can hide all the field, hide all field, and click on here. So that's for that. You can adjust it anyhow you want it. So for another thing we can add can be all this. You can actually work on all these to adjust it to how you want it. Next thing is just trying to rush through just to end 7:30 tonight. So we have done monthly writes. From that, we can answer. We can see that from our analysis that much of the writes came in July. July was the highest month. And use it to investigate what happened, what really happened, then working locations. Come down to next question. Which locations generate the highest demand? For this, we can do the top 5 pickup locations. So just go to our analyze. I think by now we are with copy all these. Yeah, and we remove the date with the pick. It was pickup location. We are looking for the top 5. So we can actually first sort it first. This is small. We're looking for top 5. Just the top 5. So top 5. Yep. West. Ah, oh, okay. Ah, another place. Hope you guys saw it. How I did it. Top five. You saw. Ah, okay. So you didn't see how I did it. You can watch the video. Actually, what I did, what did it is from the pivot table. It's not from the chart. Pivot table itself. Just click on here. Click on here. It's going to show you value field. So it was in my face. So like seriously, I'm trying to catch up time. I was when you click on value filters, show you top and select top here. Then and say what you that's what I was happens. So when you do this, you can actually work on the really add my data label. Yep, copy the what I'm doing. Because I'm not going to give anybody, not going to give anybody this. You go and build it yourself. Build the whole this is not a copy and paste again. I've given you assignment to copy and paste. Go and copy and paste that one. Use the idea. Do this one. So this now, as you've answered a lot of questions already. I think the other questions, so you want question you have location has the highest demand. Other question, if from our have Oxford Circus at the highest. uh, how much that revenue? How much that revenue at this one? How much revenue is earned right there? Answer this one. Done already. Which right type generates more? Which right type generates revenue by right type now? That is just to analyze. Pick this. Just change instead of pick up. This is how much Uber Comfort, Uber X generated the highest revenue. Okay, now I think many people, this is what I have done. This is where, but before I stop, I'll show you something very, very, look at it. Follow, not been following the path as a minister, follow this path. Completed rights, total revenue. Man being converted, that's revenue all over, right? So now, now we've had our overview dashboard. We have our overview dashboard. In the next 5 minutes, I want to do something. Oh, I didn't add slicers. Okay. Set slicer. This slicer request day or request month. Yeah, actually, just want to use months. Okay. Just wanted it to, and we can have a timeline slicer at the top too. What connection? Yeah, I'll do report connection. Okay. That's it is in Telegram. So if I select January, then we select some and not some. I've not connected. Now go select this slide. Go to report. Go to slide on the slide. Click on report connection. Make sure it connects to the. Sorry, I've taken extra. Okay, so with that now, select let our ones that don't bring it here. So that's that. So the first, what happens is that sometimes you might have, please listen to this part. I'll just do it in 5 minutes. Listen to this part is very important. So we you can decide to have different pages of a dashboard. This can be the overview page, and you can actually move and copy this overview page, copy it, and create a detail page and change here to details details page. Done. So we have our overview page, we have our overview page, we have our details page. A details page now may just be for us to break down details, maybe summary of maybe driver summary. You put each driver, then you just want to create it in another page. This is the first page. We can delete all these ones, everything here. Yeah, it's page linking for new guys. Let me explain it better because it's part of what you do. Assignments. I want to delete. This is not the page that is the details page. I just copied copied the. Do you still accommodate new people? They can join and do the whole assignment. Welcome. Not go back because of. So this now is our details page. So we can go to our overview page down here, and we can do an insert a shape. Set a shape. Let me insert triangle shape. Let me insert it here. Now I want it that if I click on this, it should take me to different pages. So I can click on, I can do this. This should be my overview page. Over this overview page I am. This is the overview. So let me bolden it. So now this button now buys my choose my actually select this button. Control C. Ah, don't worry, you watch the video. What I'm doing, I just added what I didn't do any magic. I a just added a shape, wrote something inside, added the shape. That's the magic. That's not the magic. I know people are tired, but the attention span is dropping. But that's I just want to drop. So I can make this one Control A, my details page. And because I don't want it, I don't not the page I'm on now. Actually change change everything about make it not bold. Just leave it like so. If someone looks at it now, you say, okay, I'm but how do I make it that if I click on this page, it takes me to the what we call page linking. Select this, right click on it, you see link. Click on the link. Once you open the link, you see existing web paper based in this document. Create new document, email address. You can link it to anything that if somebody clicks there, it takes them to what you link it to. But in my own, I want to link it to the details page. Click on details now. It's showing you the cell reference. Click OK. Just it. So if I come now, watch very well. If I come here and click on these details, it takes me to the. So maybe when you are presenting your dashboard, now you can actually maybe you can have different pages that show different things. Maybe the overview page was here. Once you want somebody to navigate it, once the person use sliders, everything, Then he wants to go to details. You see details page and say, okay, let me see this is the overview. Let me see the details. It doesn't contain all your summaries. Click on details. Takes you to the detail page. You have all the details, all the breakdown, maybe table of drivers, table of users, everything here. Then they might actually see it. But I can also come here too, so that I don't get lost. Copy this to copy this to copy it, take it to my details page and paste it here. As I paste details page already. From details page, I want to go back to overview. I have to is link it to overview. Okay. So the details page now, linked it because I'm on verify. Okay. But for the overview page, if I click on overview now, it takes me to overview. Click on detail, take me to detail. Now actually come here. Uploading details page. So this shows I'm on the page. So for the assignment, you are going to create a new page. I've dropped everything. This assignment is going to take 2 weeks, because I know it might actually be guys. If it's possible, go back to the videos and watch it again to understand how the concept of answering questions, the concept of building questions. Then you build a page. I dropped it down here. Dropped it down here for you to find I think some of them is I'm even done some of them in this part. So you're going to do it on a new. You're going to do this page as it is. Then you're going to do another page which will contain this. Anyhow, you want to build your dashboard. If you want to do 10 pages, do it. But all the pages must have a way for someone to communicate. I think I've showed the whole thing how it is here. So just do that. You answer these questions. Anyone that is tough can drop it on the group and share knowledge. Like, okay, I'm trying to get this. Don't know. So what we will actually be looking at are now the reasons. These reasons actually is what will drive us to understand our overview. Like, um, um does high demand mean high revenue? Done this revenue by request by revenue by location. So does right type cancellation request? If the top reasons, what are the top reasons? All those ones, the top reasons that users not book right way because driver was rude or driver was this, or the top reasons they cancelled was this. So it's all in the business questions. Look through. Maybe I'll drop this video once I'm able to get it. So you watch it again, watch the other videos, and be able to answer questions that will align in your details page. Then no, please, if you get it, let me see a thumbs up. Yeah, you will do this page. You do this page. You do a lot. Do this page. I want you to practice makes perfect. Keep practicing. Get to understand it better. Personally, it's been longer. It's been very long. I use Excel. I can't remember what dashboard. Still trying to because for the sake of teaching, trying to recollect. So I'm actually miss some things. Yeah, you're doing everything. Build the first page. So they're analyzing the data, just like the way I showed you. Analyze the data. Build the page. Go to the details page. Go to the answer all the business questions that are. It's have 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, you're very much okay. Do it. By next week, would show us how to use this data through Power Query. So all this cleaning we do in Excel, we're going to do Power Query by next. So we understand Power Query. That strong tool. And so, guys, you have 2 weeks from this week and next week. I'll just drop information. By next week, when we do Power Query, I'll not drop an API. Is this video recording? Yeah, this video is recorded. Not to. It's not getting tougher. It's getting simpler because if you are go back and watch videos again, so you understand the basic concepts, guide you through this, so that everything here the summary table is just okay. Summary table is just, for example, let me do example like this, like this. 2 weeks is good for you now. That's why during the beginning of this active, you have up to 5 to 7, 1 hour per day. Yeah, 1 hour per day. This is in 2 hours. I finished this one, so you can use 1 week to finish this one, then use another week to do the other one. So I don't think it's except you are totally busy and you're totally busy. Oh, first and second assignment, those that join. Oh, deadly. All the assignments on Excel will be submitted. So yeah, we can actually do this. Let's see. Let's do whatever. Whatever's ID. That's ID. Driver. Driver's ID. Driver's ID. First ID. How much fancy map revenue. This is kind of a summary table for, and I can try to just select. So, so I can come down to, yeah, yeah, I can do top 10 value field, do top 10 based on want to do amount of so like I have the summary table. Don't have driver. So this now I can come down to this details table, come here, select here, select here, right? Reverse, then I can write equal to, hmm, go to my, this is my driver. Extend this. Once you extend it because you copied it, everything that follows it is good. I've captured the next one because I just referenced this cell in that place. So it's good to capture count of request ID, some of this time, some of revenue. Just did it. They captured distance. Come here, reverse, hands, over. Yeah. Saturated. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just trying one summary. Created to my. So now this dragged it down. So drag it, bring out the image now. So you can see the 10 drivers. What I just did after we referenced it, just drag it. So it's seeing everything. Yeah, so this driver summary. So this is kind of example of the kind of summary table. This now is for the drivers now. Do it for any other thing. What I need it for all there. So somebody can just okay. We have only two assignments. Two assignment. The first one you are done. You are Sophia, you are done with the first one. This second one, just to create answer this all these business questions. Yeah, the summary table is in your side. This you can build summary table for you for right status for so all those ones and just build it there. But you have to create answer these ones first before you go into those. Just using it to explain. So guys, thank you very much. I think by now we stop here. People have gotten to more time than I. So with every other thing we'll get it. Thank you. Take care of you. Many people, a lot of people, those that actually want to find a job. 3 months time gets to understand instantly that. Thanks. Take care of yourself. In the call.